What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be the Connor Hellebuyck appreciation post today, because that man just came off of a 34 for 34 save shutout against the Colorado Avalanche. That's his third shutout of the season, a back-to-back shutout as he shut out Utah the game before this, and now the Jets have a 13-1-0 record. Connor Hellebuyck, have yourself a season. He is going crazy, and he looks like he wants his name on the Vezina Trophy for the third time in his NHL career. And this win has to feel pretty good, especially after what happened in the playoffs last season, as, you know, Hellebuyck admittedly didn't have the greatest playoffs of all time. That just didn't happen. He was scrutinized for it all offseason, and the Avalanche won in 5 games against the Jets. But now he comes out this year against the Colorado Avalanche and he posts a 34 save shutout. Very impressive. Connor Hellebuyck stood on his head, made some really nice saves, and the Jets walked away with the victory because of him. Now, I know a lot of people around the league are going to probably discount Connor Hellebuyck. They're not going to give him the proper credit that he deserves because he never does. But, you know, after this, I don't know how you don't. The guy's been absolutely awesome all season long, rock solid. He's the guy. We know what Connor Hellebuyck can do here in Winnipeg. A lot of people, though, you know, have those playoff games in the back of their mind and they say, okay, well, let's see it in the playoffs. I don't really know how you can scrub that away, because it doesn't seem like anything that Connor Hellebuyck can do in the regular season is going to scrub that away, you know, until we get to playoff time. And when we get to playoff time, assuming the Jets are there, it's going to have to be a pretty monumental collapse for them not to be at this point at, you know, 13-1-0. But when they do get to the playoffs, they need to win games, and they need to be just presentable up front for Connor Hellebuyck, because they cannot go into a playoff series like they did against the Avalanche last year and expect to win any games. They will not win a single game if they go in how they did. And, you know, the Avalanche really took it to the Jets, and it showed again. They do need to bolster a few positions. This Jets team is not perfect. Their record is fantastic, but there is room to improve. There's tons of room to improve. And, you know, we'll see what happens come, you know, trade deadline day. That's going to be, you know, far out in the future there. They've just still got, you know, 4 or 5 months until that happens. But in front of Connor Hellebuyck, he's playing great. He can stand on his head. He can steal games. And I have faith that he will in the playoffs too. But this Jets team looks a lot better this season. They can still improve a ton. And I really do believe when we get to the playoffs, we're going to see this Connor Hellebuyck. I thought he was on a mission last year. This year, it really seems like this is the year for him. And this could be a career-defining year, you know, for better or worse. But, hey, man, the way he's playing right now, Vezina favorite, on lock, 3 shutouts, the guy's awesome. Guy's playing out of his mind, and I have all the faith in the world that that's going to carry through to the playoffs, because this Jets team this year have been playing fantastic hockey, can still improve, but I do think that this, you know, this could be Connor Hellebuyck's year. Now, another fun thing that Connor Hellebuyck did this game was post his 40th shutout in the NHL. So that's a super, super impressive feat, but he's actually only the 6th American goaltender to hit 40 shutouts. Craig Anderson, Ryan Miller, and Jonathan Quick are in front of him, but, you know, they're really not that far behind Ryan Miller. Could realistically probably beat or pass Ryan Miller. Jonathan Quick with 60 shutouts, going to be a little bit tougher, but definitely attainable in his career the way that it's going right now. Super impressive. When are we going to start building the Hellebuyck statue? But that takes me to my next point. Connor Hellebuyck is a Hall of Famer right now, more than likely. 2 Vezina trophies already under his belt. There isn't a goaltender in NHL history with 2 Vezina trophies and not in the Hall of Fame, and I don't think that he's going to be starting a trend. His numbers are awesome career-wise. He really is that guy, and if he picks up a 3rd Vezina this year, and right now, like, I know it's early, but this really is his year right now, it's all the more impressive. And if he picks up a 3rd one, I think he's a lock. to be totally honest with you, playoff success or not. Playoff success would really help his case, I think, with the overall feel around the league and the media and everything like that, because yes, we give the flowers to Igor Shesterkin a lot because he's had some playoff success, plays in a big market. Same with Andrei Vasilevsky. He's won cups, plays for the Tampa Bay Lightning on that, big, crazy, awesome team with Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov, Victor Hedman, list goes on. But we don't talk too much or as much about Connor Hellebuyck in the same vein. And I think it's sad. I think we're starting to get to that point, but we're still not quite there. I think with a third Vezina, I think he, I don't know how you can deny him. Right now, he's the best goaltender in the league, and if he has some playoff success, hey man, I think he could be one of the greatest of all time. Coming into the season, one thing that kind of worried me a little bit was that, Eric Comrie was the backup for this team, and I didn't have a ton of confidence in Comrie, given what he did in Buffalo the last couple of years. Wasn't some great stuff, but he's come in and he's looked very steady. Now, one, kind of underrated or under-talked about part, I should say, about that signing is that he is really good friends with Hellebuyck. And yes, Brossoit and Hellebuyck had a great relationship when he was here just a season ago, and now you have Eric Comrie as the backup, and there was a lot of question marks coming into the year, but he's done very well, and he's a guy that, so far anyway, the Jets have been able to lean on and give Hellebuyck some night's rest, and I think that's been a big problem, for the past few seasons with Hellebuyck. He's really had to carry the Jets to the playoffs, and by the time he gets to the playoffs, he is worn out, and he's just not the same goaltender. This year, I don't know if we're going to have that problem necessarily. I know Brossoit did fantastic last year, stepped up when he needed to, and stepped into a great role, was a big part of why Hellebuyck won the Jennings Trophy, right? They shared that trophy, and it was a great achievement. But this year, if Comrie can absorb some starts, I was scared that he wouldn't be able to do so. But if he can absorb some starts for Hellebuyck and get him to a point where he only has to play, maybe 60 to 65 games per year, then I think we're looking good heading into the playoffs, because the last thing I want to see is an overworked, overtired Connor Hellebuyck, and I don't think we're going to see that this year. The Jets have actually taken pretty good care of him so far throughout the year, not really having to allow him to steal games up until this Colorado game. I think they've done very well in front of him, and that's going to go a long way as well if they're able to keep up the structure. But that's just my thoughts about Connor Hellebuyck. This is the Connor Hellebuyck appreciation video. I feel like this is a long time overdue. I always mention him in the videos, but I never really solely focus on him, or haven't in a really long time anyway. And that had to change today, because he's the reason the Jets won against the Avalanche today, and it was really cool. But what do you guys think? Is Connor Hellebuyck that guy? Is he a Hall of Famer? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear from you guys. But leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.